Welcome to Solkin Homes. My name is Mark, and this is my journey as a pilgrim returning to Eden. So I hope you're doing well, hope you're in good health, and that I catch you at a moment of attention, that you can be focused and present and be with me in this moment. I'm praying for clarity. I'm praying to have this moment to connect with you from the heart and share with you something that's going on the other side of the world, let's say. So if this is the first time you're joining, I left my cozy job in Vancouver in 2001. I moved down to Mexico to pursue a passion of creating a community, and it's been a long journey. So at the moment we're in a location. We've been here for about a year and a half, and we're moving on to a new location. This is kind of like a base camp. This is the first place where we learn to work together with other people. We learn to be tolerant and be able to work through like the tensions, and using this octalog method, a method that allows people to get over their differences or integrate their differences together, the conflicts that might arise, and allows us to grow together, because through that conflict it's actually an opportunity to get to know one another better. Ultimately we all want the same thing, and I mean, when you come to this side, when you've arrived to this side, you don't have anything that you can hold on to anymore, and so the practical things in life become more important, just food and shelter and water, and we all need that, right? We need sleep, we need a place to rest. So today particularly is a day of being able to touch your bigger vision and get to the details of what may arise or what might lie ahead in your vision. So if many of us have just got the vision of basically being at work and just trying to get through the week. We don't get the opportunity to think big. But when you start to get into the bigger aspects of like, what do you want in life, or what is it that you think is going to bring you closer to a fulfilled life, and perhaps you've got all the money in the world already. Perhaps you have everything. You don't need anything anymore. But the one thing I can say is you don't have community. None of us have real community in the lives, modern lifestyles we have that are authentic. Okay, I don't believe that. I don't believe that they're really authentic. I think there's a lot of pretentiousness going on. We're pretending to be families, but do we really know each other? Do we really care about others' needs? Are we going to look after our elders when they're older? Are we going to support the parents and be fatherly and motherly to our neighbors' children? Right? Or are we going to say, oh, they're in the way, they're getting distracting, or they're annoying me, can you deal with something? Can you deal with your kids? Right? That's a typical one, right? That's a typical, nowadays it's your problem, it's your child. So no one wants to deal with it. That's not community. That's just a nasty prison. That's like being in a prison and having to negotiate your way with people because you got no one to get your back, right? And you have to figure out how to do that. So coming to a point where you dissolve all that, let it go, is not easy. I can tell you that, and at the same time it's very rewarding, because you let go of all that extra baggage that you've been carrying around with you, and you're able then to make space for new and have clarity and see better and have a vision. If you don't have these responsibilities, these synthetic responsibilities, of having to make sure you pay your taxes and make sure you have to meet the criteria for your certifications you require, or you have to make sure rents and all that stuff. If you can get rid of all those things that are burdening your mind, burdening your attention, then you're able to enjoy the time you have to focus more on the things that matter, like community, like being able to help your neighbors out, and practice the ability of healing, practice the ability of giving in attention. Oh, it's gonna rain. Well, great. Let's do a rainy one. I don't know. It usually comes down pretty fast. So today's a day of embracing that bigger vision of what is it that you want in your life, and getting crystal clear on the details. That is such an important part of a vision. And yet at the same time not putting expectation of time, because we destroy our ability to connect with the divine when we start to measure it in numbers and time. Leave that up to our Creator. Creator's got that down way better than any of us can ever do. And so basically having the awareness of what are the next steps is more important than trying to figure out when the next steps are, because we don't know when the next steps are. We don't know. We can say more or less it should take place this year, next year, but we don't know for sure. And all that matters is that we're breathing and able to continue until that moment occurs. So it's a beautiful day to embrace that. And with that, I had a synchronous moment where if you're aware of the movement, and this is an awakening movement that's happening across the world. It started somewhat with the Freedom Cell, that became a manifestation of such in 2001. The freedomcells.org website, if you've ever followed Josh Bush, and even that is supported by the work of the Octolog, which is what I prescribed for communities. And the Synchronous was, for me, looking at this presentation from the Holomovement, which is another movement. There are multiple movements, and I'll introduce them as we discuss these aspects in the channel. Not that this is a discussion. I mean, I'm talking into a little, I don't know. I need to put a person there because this is terrible. But nonetheless, the Holomovement is probably one of the most significant movements because it's based in the implicate natural law, the implicate order, and this is a basis of understanding reality and how it's built. And it's not about us using the Aristotle kind of process of monitoring and basically trying to extrapolate some kind of monetization out of it, right? Like putting time as an attribute, putting the size and the description, all those things, and trying to analyze everything, right? Instead of just enjoying the beauty for what it is. And that's the world we've come to have to accept as a society, is that everything's got to be analyzed, everything's got to be critiqued, and everything's got to be compared. And now we're doing it to ourselves. We did that to nature around us, but now we're doing it to ourselves, right? And we're falling in the trap of comparing ourselves, and there's nothing bigger than stealing your joy than comparing yourself to someone else. So that comparison is not for us. It's for our divine Creator to decide how that path is going to go. And every person has got their path. The question is, are you following your path? Are you following the path that you were called for? And maybe it hasn't started yet. Maybe that nagging sensation of I got to do something, this is not working. It's just like there's too many. My life is so burdened with so much stuff, and I've got so many things, and I don't have a moment to think about it. And I just want to scroll my TV or my social media feed. Like I just want to break. I want to existentially break out of this moment of burden with all these things on my mind. And that's where I found myself many times when I was living in Vancouver, working daily. And some days you are so busy from the moment you clock in to the moment you clock out that there wasn't a moment for self-reflection. 8 hours go by, and there was nothing to show that you've lived today. It's all just paperwork. It's all just, continuing the protocol, right? So, the beautiful thing is that we are able to attach ourselves, or take ourselves to a place that is in attachment with reality. Even if we may be in a very synthetic environment, we can get a slither, a touch on reality through meditation, through reading scripture, through a conversation and connecting with someone else in your local. So that's a beautiful thing, and that's what I focus on in the Octologue. And this presentation, which was by Lynne McTaggart, and she's been working on this also for many years. And Lynne McTaggart talks about the simplicity of focus and attention as a group, and her work has shown that even just 10 minutes of a group coming together in harmony with one another, putting attention and focus on one thing, makes huge differences, incredible. And this is the gift that we have as a species, as humanity has, is that we are able to interact with our environment on a telepathic level, on just the observation of something, and then transform it into the imagination of something that is healthy, something that is full, something that we all recognize is the benefit to our well-being. And one of the amazing parts about this process is not only do the individuals in this group help that individual that is going through maybe a physical ailment or some issue that they're struggling with. Not only has it shown the benefit of them improving, but the individuals that are actually participating in that group, trying and applying that imagination of goodwill to them, an intention of goodwill to them, then actually receive the benefits, and they themselves have been reported to be healed in some capacity or not. So and this is not just the only case. There are many cases that we can recognize that this is actually something that we can do in groups. The Bible says, I think it's Matthew 13, 19 to 20, something like that, that when we come together, as believers, that when we come together, that we have the power to actually command. Okay, it only takes two. That's our power. That's the gift we have. It only takes two. But imagine if you've got 8. Imagine, if you've got that coherence with 8 people. 12 is pushing it, but even 12. But that's why they were disciples of 12, right? So that was a synchronous moment for me. I wanted to share with Lynne McTaggart's work. And if you haven't taken a look at it, the Holomovement, I believe it's holomovement.com. You can go take a look at their website and look at what's going on around you. Look at what people, and we are in the benefit of being around people that do have funding and do have the time and do participate in that movement. And so they're opening, this path where individuals that don't have the liberty to put the time and energy in can easily keep up, and participate. And one of them is just joining a online 8-group intentional meditation group. That's it. And they basically come together once a week, and they'll take a topic and discuss the topic together, and discuss what's the situation, and then mirror that take that as the challenge, and then basically mirror the success, right? And start to imagine what would the success of this? What would be the fulfillment of health? What would be the fulfillment of wealth? What would be the fulfillment of connection and community? What would that look like for them in their lives? And when you can do that in a group of 8 and start to focus on this one individual, it makes changes, and it makes changes for you as well. So I'll put the link in at the bottom here of the description. Again, I'll be sharing a couple different things. This is intentionally, I'm doing this so that we can raise some funds. We are looking for help with the funds in this project, and I've attached a donation link specifically actually for Mayan bees. So the money coming here will be for the next project. We want to establish Mayan bees, and I'll be taking you through the location where we're going to be establishing them. We have found the location. We are going to be moving from this location also when we get some more funding, and it's going to help us then actually get the space to put the bees in, because it's something that needs to be protected, and the bees are vital. In comparison to gold, the honey produced from the Mayan bees have got more value than gold in weight. Okay, so it is really a gift to humanity to have this honey, and it's only cultivated in this area. So nowhere else in the world can you get this. But they are going extinct, and we don't have enough people to actually help the bees. So, and if there was one thing that humans could do that would help the world, is actually help with bees. So it's a simple thing, and it's just a matter of giving them the space, giving them fresh water, making sure that they have got energy available for them for when they are building their hives, and just understanding the way, their challenges, right, the bees. So we'll be sharing that, but we first have to set up these hives for them. I think that's it. I think I just wanted to share that was my synchronous moment for today. And if you have any synchronicities, or if you want to join and have a chat, please reach out to me. I have the link at the bottom there. And we are looking for individuals. We are inviting individuals to come join us. We have a lot of transient people come and take a look at what we're doing, and at the same time many come back actually, because it's a slow process, and it can take up to years before you get to this point where you've actually now left the baggage behind, and it's not going to come back after you. It can take time. So the sooner you start to work on the vision, the sooner you can start to clarify the details of what it is that is going to bring you in alignment with your purpose, the sooner it will happen eventually. Oh, I got an ant there. Well, yeah, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate connecting with you. Go well and go strong. Hey there, just before you leave, this is a great opportunity. If you're looking for a network, if you're looking for like-minded people and you're looking for support, this is where you can find it. It's free. It's going to give you a touch on all the different aspects of the course, and it's going to connect you with other like-minded people. Thank you.